Hi, I'm Jacob Drennan, and I'm going to talk about gamification in the classroom. Gamification adds elements to the classroom to stimulate motivation, offer alternate understandings, and encourage student creativity. Basically, it's like bringing the idea of video games into a classroom and formatting your curriculum to fit that kind of learning style. Jay McGonigal has actually a great TED talk about this. She's a game designer and she has researched the influence of online gaming on people, problem solving, creativity. And she believes that if these people have those same attitudes that they do towards a fantastical world of gaming, that maybe they would also be able to do this in the real world, solve actual problems. And she also goes into this about education. Here below is the 20-minute TED Talk that she has about the influence. It's a great watch. I really enjoyed watching it, so I'd recommend watching it. So Vicki Davis talks about how game theory can be integrated in the classroom, and the way you do that is you basically make your curriculum kind of like a game. You make everything you do kind of work for a system of rewards, but it has to be a like complex narrative put to it. It can't just be adding points to a regular task. That's just transparent and it doesn't really add to the class. Students will see right through that. It has to be engaging, and that's how students will interact with this well. Mechanics play an enormous part, as I just said. It's fluid and it'll make the environment gamified. Students will enjoy coming to class, and that'll happen. It's also important to provide rewards and motivation. The same way that it works kind of like a video game is you want students to stay actively engaged in this kind of curriculum. So if they're not getting appropriate rewards and they're not really being motivated to do this kind of stuff, they're not going to be into it and it's going to fall flat at the end. So it's important that you structure the curriculum to a gamified classroom to make a rewarding experience for students and teachers, because if this is integrated well and it's thought out, planned, and done, students are going to enjoy the experience, teachers are going to enjoy the experience, and honestly, it'll be the best environment for all. Uh, Making a class gamified, it takes a great deal of effort. For example, grades and gamification need to be separate. While there are points and rewards to doing tasks and activities and tests like that to maybe advance a quest like you would in a video game, they can't be exactly the same as the grades. The grades and the gamification have to be two separate entities. You can grade them separately, but that's how it has to go. And again, motivating students is important. Manipulables and symbols. You want to make sure that what you're doing in the class is applicable to the game only. Like you'll represent certain aspects of the game with symbols, quests. It can't be something directly school related. It's got to kind of feel like a different experience outside. And Michael Matera, he's a sixth grade teacher from Wisconsin, I believe, and he has actually done this, and he explains right here how what he does that makes the he explains what he does that makes the experience work, why his kids love it, how to do it, and really how it works as a rewarding experience. Usable games for the classroom. Most platforms will offer games that can be applied to the classroom. I mean, consoles or computer. I mean, PS4, Xbox One, Wii U. That stuff offers games with educational experiences that can be integrated into classes. If the curriculum thing doesn't work itself, you can also add games in that'll work. And I mean, it doesn't sound like it, but even console games can display historical importance and shed light on heavy issues. A ton of games offer a perspective on depression, and some games offer like real historical events that happen. I mean, games are complex narratives. It's like kind of being in a literature class. They offer stories and, again, narrative that you can add and can educationally implement in a classroom. For example, Minecraft is frequently used for collaborative and creative purposes. I mean, you can basically make Minecraft work in any classroom because it has so many uses, so many purposes. It's easy to get on a bunch of desktop computers. It's a very easy to use manipulative in a classroom and good for learning. Challenges to gamification. Gamification depletes teachers of resources. It takes a lot of time to plan like this, a lot to do on a curriculum. Manipulatives and symbols, that can cost a lot of money. So honestly, it's up to the teacher if they want to go into this much detail to make their curriculum better. Students may become expectant of rewards for any kind of learning. It's kind of just along with the curriculum. The way that you reward students for doing good tasks, they might expect that in other classrooms, and all classrooms aren't going to be doing gamification. So it could be a problem if students are always expecting rewards. And obviously, gamification is not universal. This idea is not going to work for all students. Not all students are completely interested in video game worlds and implementing this kind of stuff into a classroom. And the same goes for other teachers teaching curriculum. Not everybody is going to use gamification, but you're just going to have to take it with a grain of salt when it comes to having everybody use these materials. And that's all I got. Here are a few of my references. Yeah, hopefully you could consider using gamification in the future.